We have another Hatsune Miku unboxing today. This is the Christmas version or the winter version from 2012. So it is almost 12 years old now. With older Nindroids, you have a few problems that arise. So we're going to go ahead and unbox it, check it out, and see if those problems are with this one or if we got lucky and none of them problems are in this one. So let's see. So I do like how Miku gets a bunch of different versions, this being a kind of Santa version. You don't see that with a lot of other characters, especially in Nindroid form. There are some really rare Hatsune Miku Nindroids, actually. And I am curious onto how many of these I can get. I am going to try to make my best effort to get a lot of these Nindroids because I think they are very cute and very fun, especially this one. So go ahead and get her out of there. But this one is kind of a unique one because you don't see a lot of, like I said, Santa ones. That is obviously a holiday that they celebrate in, or they kind of celebrate in a different type of way than they do in America. It's not so much a faith-based holiday, it's more of just a family holiday. Obviously there is faith in, they have Christmas for faith and that side of it in Japan, but it is not as prevalent as it is in like the US. So anyway, let's go ahead and get her out of her little plastic prison here. And there was no tape on that at all. I'm kind of fine with that, but, kind of odd. Anyway, this was a pre-owned figure from Ami usually, and I do say that with this one as well. I have no issues with it so far. But Ami does do a pretty good job of telling you exactly if there is any issues with the figure, if there is any issues with the packaging. With this one, there was not, and it seems that way so far, other than this not having tape on it, but I think that might have just been an error from the company. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and look at it because some of these older Nindroids, even if they're in the box the entire time, can have some issues. So let's go ahead and see if that's the case here. So grabbing her here, I am noticing one issue that you will find with older Nindroids is that they have a sticky residue on them. And this is not an issue with being dirty or anything like that. It is an issue of age and this plastic. And as you can see here, I'm going to try to show it to you here. As you can see there is this like slight film over top of it. And if I was to take my finger here, and I'm going to do it kind of lightly so I don't mess it up, it is not very thick. I can probably wipe this off, but as you can see there, now it's just over here. I'm able to pretty much wipe it off with just my finger. One thing to note, when handling figures like this, make sure you clean your hands, clean your hands before using them. Because any dirt that's on your hands will immediately stick to these things. So go ahead, and if you're going to unbox an older Nindroid, go ahead and wash your hands beforehand just to be safe, so you don't get your Nindroid covered in any kind of dirt or dust, because it will. So let's get this plastic off of here. There we go. And can I take the hat off now? I think I can. Maybe. Yeah, the little muffs are over her ears. And she does not want to take her hat off. There we go. That's a cursed Miku there, without any twin tails or anything. So, this is where the majority of the sticky stuff is, especially that ball there. I don't know why that ball is so sticky. These are not. These are pretty good. It's certain colors that really are bad. Like this is fine. This face is a little bit sticky. This one, that face is quite sticky. How do you fix this? There's a few ways you can. First off is you need some hot water, not scalding hot, warm water, and you need some, I never knew they did that. Huh. How about that? I forgot that the older ones. If you deal with a newer Nindroid, the front of the face comes off, as you can see there. The whole head comes off. I'm trying to show it to you there. Yeah, you can see there, it's a big difference. How about that? But what you need is hot water, you need some soapy water, and not like super soapy, just a little bit of soap, enough to have a few suds in there. Kind of don't scrub, just kind of gently rub the soap in there, and then it will clean this residue off. I'm probably going to do it with this hat and probably this version or this part of her. So I will return and I will fix this. So I'll be back. Okay, so I have washed them off now, and as you can see here, I don't know if this will come across, but it is much more vibrant now, much better looking. It's not got that foggy haze on them anymore. That red, it really showed up on. If it was just the face, I probably would have left it, but you don't want to make your figure look like it's dusty, and that really makes it look like it's very dusty, and I don't like that. I want it to look fresh, I want it to look vibrant, and show off pretty much what the figure's supposed to look like, and that really wasn't able to happen with that not being clean. So still a little bit of sticky on the face, but not a lot, and it does not have a big film on it anymore, so I am happy with that. So let's go ahead and put everything back on her, and then I will be right back. So I am going to, real quick before I put everything back on her, swap out this arm with this arm, and this is the little arm where she is carrying the little Santa sack here. So I like that one a little more. I think it adds a little bit to it. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on her here. She does have this thing around her neck here, and I will show it to you now. It's a little tie, and you don't get these very often, so I am pretty happy with having that on there, considering the age of it. But let's go ahead and put that on there. Slide that back onto her, and make sure her arm stays on. And yeah, there you go. So with this, we have to put the little hat back on before we put the hair pieces on. And I'm always very cautious when dealing with older stuff, because you have that risk of it being fragile, and I don't want to break any of this. So because you can't get replacements of something that's 12 years old. I don't want to say that. You might have been able to, but I'm not gonna risk that. So you can somehow put her in the little chimney here. Let's find out. So it seems you have to have her in this arm with the hand here that is holding onto the chimney itself so that she'll stand up. I don't really want to do that. I like her having the little bag here. So I am going to just put on the standard this thing, and then we'll go from there. So let me go ahead and put this on her, and then I'll be right back. So a major issue that Nendoroids have, especially older ones, is that over time their arms and their legs and their heads will become very loose. And there's nothing really you can do about that. I don't know if it's an older Nendoroid problem or if it's just that time has gone by. And that's the problem with her here. This hand here is not strong enough because it did have a little bit of tension on it. And as you can see her head here. It's got a little bit of wiggle to it. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to use the arm with the bag on it. We're going to have to just use the standard arm here, which is kind of disappointing, but what can you do? Also, this attachment on the back there does not want to stay in. So that's another problem that we're dealing with here. Okay, so real quick, I'm going to give you a close-up of what we've got here, and then I will talk about it before we go. So this is one of the oldest, it is the oldest Nindroid that I have shown on camera. Um, I do have older Nindroids in my collection. The K-On set is older. The Haruhi Suzumiya is older, and they definitely have similar issues. Nindroids, I would say before about 2013, really show these issues. That's why I'm very glad that certain Nindroids are getting newer versions. Taiga's getting one. Hatsune Miku's gotten tons. I just hope that other ones like the K-On series, I hope they get ones because these problems are going to keep arising. The more and more time that passes, they're going to get worse. So I'm not to say this is a bad Nindroid. I think it's fine. I think the problem is that it's just so old at this point that they don't really hold up like they probably once did, especially compared to the newer ones. So I want to say, yeah, this is a really cute Nindroid, and it is. It's very cute. It's definitely got that aura of the old school Nindroids that I love so much. That's why I bought it. But it is 12 years old, and it does show. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to recommend you buying it. Buy a newer Hatsune Miku. I'm sure there's a newer Christmas version. They've got like 15 million Hatsune Miku Nindroids and figures and everything. I'm sure there is another one you will decide to pick up before this one. So anyway, here's where it's going to go in the collection. It's going to go by another figure that we're going to talk about next week because I was going to do this one, the racing one, this week. It turned out to be there with some problems with that one. We're going to talk about that next week. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. The podcast comes up on Sunday, so stay tuned for that. And we will be back Monday for a new video as well. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you'd like to see that. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.